Ladies and gentlemen, today in Sports Files, we're going to be looking at a little bit more of that NHL trivia question I've been talking about. Who was the first person taken in the first NHL Entry Draft, and by which team? Think mid-1960s. But think not a superstar or someone that never reached the potential that was thrown upon him. Of course, we're going to talk about the former Montreal Canadian and Toronto Maple Leaf, Garry Monahan. Now, Garry Monahan seems like a great moniker for a hockey player. Born October 20th, 1946 in Barrie, Ontario, he was selected first overall by the Montreal Canadiens in the 63 NHL Amateur Draft of 16-year-old players. Not 18 or 19 or 20-year-old players, but 16-year-old players. After being drafted, he played the next season Junior B hockey with the St. Michael's Buzzers in Toronto before moving up to Montreal's affiliated squad, the Junior A Peterborough Petes in the Ontario Hockey Association, where he played from 1964 to 1967. Now, in his final junior year, he turned to a top scorer, playing on a line with the future Montreal Canadian Mickey Redmond. Now, the 66-67 season with the Petes, he had 84 points in 47 games, including 2 goals and 2 assists in the playoffs. He went to Montreal's affiliate, the Houston Apollos, for the playoffs, scoring 1 goal in 3 games. Now, in 67-68, he split time between the Habs and the Apollos. With the Apollos, he had 48 points in 56 games. Now, in the ironic twist of fate, Montreal made a big trade involving Monahan. After playing 3 games for the Habs in 69 and 70 games with the AHL affiliate in Cleveland, which included 44 points, he was traded to Detroit in a deal that brought Montreal Peter Mahovlich, which I think Montreal got the best part of that trade. Now, in 51 games with Detroit, he had 3 goals and 4 assists. Ended up second half of the season with LA with 3 assists in 21 games. From there, he moved on to Toronto, had somewhat successful years of 30 points and about averaging 13 to 15 goals per game. Later went on to Vancouver for 4 years. Came back to the Maple Leafs and played 3 seasons of all leagues. The Japanese Ice Hockey League with the Seibu Tetsudo, which was Tokyo-based for 3 years. And he probably ranks as one of the highest profile former NHL players to ever play pro hockey in Japan. Now, after his time in the pro career was done, he spent several seasons working on Vancouver the Canucks radio broadcasts. Now, Monahan at 5'11", 185 pounds, wasn't the biggest center in Montreal, but he was again caught in a numbers game in Montreal because the season that he played with Montreal, the 2 seasons he played with Montreal, they had many up-and-coming players that hit the ice for both seasons. Although Montreal won Stanley Cups in both years he was in Montreal, he didn't play in any playoff games, and therefore his name is not on the Stanley Cup. But Monahan, basically, for what he was, what you see is what you get, and he kind of had an Iron Man status to him. He went, I think it was 5 consecutive seasons without missing a game. Very durable player when we had a 78-game season, of course. Let me tell you, quite a distinction to be drafted number 1 by any NHL team, but to be the number one, and how it worked too as well. Quebec and the eastern part of Canada, Montreal had kind of first dibs on the draft pick. But Garry Monahan, I give him a B- on his career, kind of an incomplete. But, to play all those years in NHL and playing with some of the best players of the 1970s with Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal, that's a good distinction. And you can never take away he was the first. And you never forget your first. So on this COVID Wednesday, we wish you happy days. If you enjoy these NHL-themed Sports File podcasts, give me a like, subscribe, or a comment. Everything's appreciated. As we like to say in the North Shore, keep your stick in the ice. Bye.